Hey everyone, welcome back to the deep dive. We've got a really cool topic lined up for you today. We're going to be diving into the world of fashion, but with a twist, we're talking artificial intelligence and how it's completely changing the game.
Yeah, AI is everywhere these days, right? And the fashion industry is no exception. It's actually kind of amazing to see how much impact it's having on pretty much every part of the industry.
Uh-huh.
From the initial design ideas all the way to how clothes are actually made, sold, and even like the whole sustainability angle.
And we did a ton of research for this one. We've got some seriously interesting articles from places like LeewayHertz and Fordham University. Plus, we dug into some perspectives from Venues.dk and Wilson College of Textiles. And we even found some good stuff on Reddit.
Yeah, that Reddit thread was surprisingly insightful, actually. Some really interesting points in there.
Yeah, for sure. So, today we're going to try to really break down all this information for you. We want you to walk away understanding exactly how AI is changing the face of fashion, like literally from the drawing board to your wardrobe. And hopefully you'll be a little more informed about this whole AI thing because, let's be honest, it's changing so fast it's hard to keep up.
Yeah, for real. And one thing that's really interesting is how initially the fashion world was kind of slow to adopt AI. Like
Yeah.
they were hesitant. It's such a creative industry. It's all about personal expression. And I think there was this fear that AI would, I don't know, like stifle that creativity or something.
Yeah, it definitely makes sense. But it seems like things have really shifted, haven't they? Like AI is now a major player in the fashion scene.
Oh, absolutely. It's everywhere now. Like we said, it's affecting design, production, shipping, marketing, even sales. Pretty much the entire journey of a garment, from concept to customer, is being touched by AI in some way.
And it's not just hype, the numbers back it up. The global market for AI in fashion, it went from, get this, $0.65 billion in 2022 to $0.91 billion in 2023.
That's a 40% jump,
Yeah.
a 40% compound annual growth rate, to be
Mhm.
precise. That's huge. That kind of growth, it just shows you how important AI is becoming for fashion businesses. It's not a fad, it's here to stay.
Okay, so let's dig into why this is happening.
hmm
What are the big challenges that the fashion industry is facing where AI is coming in and offering some solutions?
Well, I think one of the biggest headaches for fashion brands has always been those super fast changing trends. It's like 1 minute something's in, the next minute it's out.
It's true. And it makes it really hard for designers and retailers to accurately predict what people are going to want to buy next season, let alone next year.
Exactly. And that leads to, well, a couple of problems, right? First, you get overproduction, like brands making way more clothes than they can actually sell. And second, you get a lot of waste, which is a big problem for the environment.
So it sounds like this is where AI can really help out. I know from the LeewayHertz article that AI is being used for trend forecasting.
Oh, yeah, for sure. AI is amazing at analyzing tons and tons of data. And I'm not just talking about, looking at past sales figures. AI can actually analyze things like social media posts, fashion blogs, you name it, to identify upcoming trends.
So AI is kind of like looking into the future of fashion. That's wild.
Yeah, kinda. But it's not magic, it's data. By looking at all that information, AI can see patterns and spot those subtle shifts in consumer tastes. Like what colors are becoming popular, what styles people are gravitating towards. And this gives fashion businesses a real edge. It helps them make smarter decisions about what they're going to design and stock.
That makes sense. And then there's inventory management, which I feel like is a constant struggle for retailers. You either have too much stock or not enough of what people actually want.
It's a classic problem. But once again, AI to the rescue. AI algorithms, they can analyze all sorts of data, like sales data, historical trends, even individual customer preferences. And this helps brands do a much better job at managing their inventory and deciding what assortment of products to offer.
So it's like instead of guessing what's going to sell, they're using data to make more informed choices.
Exactly. And that means fewer situations where you go to buy something and it's out of stock. Plus, it helps prevent brands from sitting on a bunch of unsold inventory, which saves them money and is better for the environment.
Makes sense. And speaking of customers, personalization is huge these days. How is AI playing a role in making our fashion experiences more tailored to us as individuals?
Oh, it's a big deal. Personalization is like one of the key ways that brands are trying to stand out, especially online. AI can analyze your browsing history, your past purchases, all that stuff to offer you personalized product recommendations.
So it's those, you might also like suggestions that pop up when you're shopping online.
Yeah, exactly. And they can be really effective, because they're based on your actual interests and preferences.
Yeah,
So you're more likely to find something you actually want, which makes for a better shopping experience.
for sure. And then there's a big one, sustainability. AI has the potential to make a real difference here, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. The fashion industry, let's be honest, it has a bit of a reputation for not being very eco-friendly. But AI is helping brands make some real progress in terms of sustainability.
How so?
Well, for one thing, AI can help designers create garments that use materials more efficiently, which means less waste. And it can also play a role in tracking where materials come from, making sure that they're ethically sourced.
So it's all about making the fashion supply chain more transparent.
Exactly. And that's a big deal because consumers are increasingly demanding transparency. They want to know where their clothes come from, how they're made, and what kind of impact they have on the environment.
And AI can help provide those answers. So it's not just about efficiency and profits, it's also about using technology for good.
Totally. Now, another area where AI comes in handy is demand forecasting. Like trying to figure out exactly how much of each garment to produce, that can be really tricky.
Yeah, I can imagine. There are so many factors to consider.
Right. But AI can analyze all those factors, like historical sales data, current trends, even things like weather patterns and social media buzz. And it can use that data to make surprisingly accurate predictions about what people are going to want to buy.
So it's taking the guesswork out of it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
And that helps brands make better production decisions, which again leads to less waste.
makes sense. And what about counterfeiting? I know that's a huge problem for the fashion industry.
It is. It costs brands a lot of money.
Yeah.
But AI is being used to fight back against counterfeiters.
Really? How?
Well, AI algorithms can analyze images and product attributes to spot fakes. Like, they can pick up on tiny discrepancies that even a trained human eye might miss.
So AI is basically a superpowered detective for the fashion world.
Kind of. Companies like Entropy, they're using this technology to help protect brands and consumers from counterfeit goods.
That's pretty cool. And finally, marketing. Getting the right message to the right people, that's always been a challenge for any industry.
Yeah, but AI is changing the game here too. Like, it can analyze your online behavior and use that information to create super targeted ads. So instead of seeing random ads that aren't relevant to you, you're more likely to see ads for brands or products that you've actually shown an interest in.
So it's like more personalized advertising.
Exactly. And that makes the whole advertising experience more effective, both for brands and for consumers. You're not bombarded with irrelevant stuff, and brands are more likely to reach their target audience.
Okay, so we've talked about some of the challenges that AI is helping the fashion industry tackle. Now let's get into some of the specific ways that AI is being used in the fashion world.
Sounds good. Let's do it.
The LeewayHertz article breaks it down into a bunch of different areas. One of them is fashion business operations. So this is like behind the scenes stuff, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like how brands manage their operations. And AI is making a big impact here. For example, in trend forecasting and buying, we talked about AI predicting trends, but it also helps fashion buyers make better decisions about what products to buy.
So it's not just about what's trending now, it's about what's going to be trending in the future.
Exactly. AI can analyze all that data and give buyers a better understanding of what consumers are going to be looking for, so they can stock their shelves or their online stores with the right stuff.
Smart. And then there's merchandising and analysis. So this is about like how products are displayed and marketed.
Yeah, both online and in physical stores. AI can analyze sales data and customer behavior to optimize how products are displayed and promoted. So like if a particular dress is selling really well online, the AI might suggest featuring it more prominently on the website or in email marketing campaigns.
Makes sense. It's all about making sure that the right products are seen by the right people at the right time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, another area where AI is making waves is in design and product development. And this is where it gets really interesting because it's touching on that whole creative process.
I know, right? Like using AI for design, that sounds kind of futuristic.
It does, but it's happening. There are tools out there that use AI to generate design suggestions, optimize patterns for clothing, even create virtual prototypes.
So it's like having an AI design assistant.
Kind of. Like the LeewayHertz article mentions this tool called Kayla that uses DALL-E. DALL-E is this really powerful AI model that can create images from text descriptions.
Wow, that's insane. So a designer could like describe a dress they have in mind and the AI would just create an image of it.
Yeah, pretty much. And it's
Yeah.
not just about like basic sketches. DALL-E can generate pretty realistic images.
Okay.
So designers can use it to get a better visual representation of their ideas before they even start sketching.
That's so cool. It's like speeding up the whole design process and opening up new possibilities.
Totally. Now, AI is also impacting styling and visual merchandising. Like, how sometimes you see those outfit recommendations or virtual try-on features online?
Yeah, I've definitely tried those. Some of them are pretty good.
Well, a lot of those are powered by AI. Like, AI can analyze customer preferences and current trends to suggest outfits and improve the way that products are visually presented.
So it's like having a personal stylist in your pocket.
Kinda.
Yeah.
And it's not just online. Some physical stores are even using AI to create personalized shopping experiences, like suggesting outfits based on your past purchases or your style preferences.
Okay, let's move on to fashion e-commerce. This is probably where AI is most visible to consumers, right?
Yeah, definitely. Like those personalized product recommendations we talked about earlier, those are a big part of the online shopping experience.
And they're powered by AI, so the AI is basically learning about your tastes and trying to show you stuff you'll like.
Right, and it's getting pretty good at it. The more data it has, the better it gets at making accurate recommendations.
Okay. Makes sense. Now, another thing I've noticed is that product search is getting a lot better thanks to AI.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like you can now search for products using images, which is super helpful if you can't quite describe what you're looking for with words.
Yeah, that's true. And some sites even let you use voice search, which is pretty cool.
It is. And both of those features are powered by AI. Like visual search uses image recognition algorithms, and voice search uses natural language processing to understand what you're saying.
It's amazing how AI is just making online shopping more intuitive and efficient.
It is. And then there's customer service. Those chatbots that pop up on websites.
Yeah, I've used those a few times. Some of them are more helpful than others.
Yeah, well, the ones that are actually helpful are probably powered by AI. Like they can answer your questions, give you product details, even offer personalized suggestions.
So it's like having a 247 customer service agent available.
Exactly. And some brands are taking it even further. Like the LeewayHertz article mentions this platform called KNXT. It's run by the luxury fashion group Kering.
Oh, Kering, they own Gucci and Saint Laurent and Balenciaga.
Right.
Yup.
That's them. And their KNXT platform is powered by ChatGPT, which is a really advanced language model. So it can have pretty sophisticated conversations with customers.
So it's like having a virtual personal shopper from Gucci.
Kind of. It's pretty impressive what they're doing with it. Now let's talk about fashion retail, like the actual brick-and-mortar stores. AI is having an impact there too, right?
Absolutely. Like AI can be used to optimize staffing levels, making sure that there are enough salespeople on the floor during busy periods.
Yeah, and it can also help create a seamless shopping experience across different channels. Like if you browse for a product online and then go to a physical store, the AI can make sure that your experience is consistent.
So, like, if you add something to your online cart but don't buy it, the store might remind you about it when you walk in.
Yeah, something like that. And then there's virtual reality, which is becoming more common in stores.
I've seen those VR try-on things. They look pretty cool.
Yeah, they're pretty neat. And they're powered by AI too. Like the AI helps to create the virtual environment and map the clothes onto your body.
So you can try on clothes without actually having to try them on.
Exactly. And it's not just about convenience. It can also help you visualize how clothes would look on you in different settings or with different accessories.
Okay, what about marketing? How is AI changing things there?
Well, we talked about those targeted retargeting campaigns. Those are a big part of AI-powered marketing. But AI is also being used to personalize loyalty programs,
Yeah.
giving you rewards and discounts that are tailored to your shopping habits.
So it's like instead of getting generic coupons, you're getting offers that are actually relevant to you.
Exactly. And that makes you more likely to shop with that brand again.
Makes sense. Now let's talk about the fashion supply chain, which can be pretty complex.
It can be. And it's often not very transparent, which is a problem. But AI is helping to change that. Like AI can be used to optimize logistics, making sure that products get from the factory to the store as efficiently as possible.
So it's like streamlining the whole process.
Yeah, exactly. And that can lead to lower costs for brands, which could potentially mean lower prices for consumers.
I like the sound of that. And we talked about sustainability earlier, but it seems like AI has a lot of potential to make the supply chain more sustainable too.
Absolutely. Like AI can help brands track where their materials are coming from and make sure that they're meeting certain ethical and environmental standards.
So it's about using technology to create a more transparent and responsible supply chain.
Exactly. Now, we also mentioned personalization earlier, but it goes beyond just product recommendations. AI is also being used to personalize marketing campaigns, like sending you emails or showing you ads that are tailored to your interests.
So it's like the AI is getting to know you and figuring out what you're most likely to respond to.
Exactly. And then there's the whole area of fashion analytics, which is basically about using data to understand customer behavior and industry trends.
So it's like market research, but powered by AI.
Yeah, kind of. Like AI can analyze huge amounts of data from social media, customer reviews, sales figures, you name it. And it can use that data to identify emerging trends, understand customer preferences, even track competitor activity.
That's pretty powerful stuff. And it seems like sustainability is a big focus in fashion analytics too.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like AI can be used to analyze the environmental impact of different materials and production processes.
So it can help brands make more sustainable choices.
Exactly. And some AI tools can even help automate the process of sustainability reporting, which can be pretty complex and time-consuming.
So AI is taking some of the burden off of brands and making it easier for them to track their sustainability progress.
Exactly. Now, one area we haven't talked about yet is fashion security.
Security, what do you mean?
Well, AI is being used for things like preventing shoplifting and detecting counterfeit goods.
Oh, right. We talked about the counterfeit detection earlier, but shoplifting, how does AI help with that?
Well, some stores are using AI-powered surveillance systems that can detect suspicious behavior, like someone hiding merchandise in their bag.
So it's like extra eyes in the store, but they're AI eyes.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Now, let's talk about something that's a bit more consumer-facing,
Yeah.
virtual try-on technology.
I'm really fascinated by this. It seems like it has so much potential.
It does. Like, imagine being able to try on clothes online and actually see how they look on you before you buy them.
That would be a game changer.
Totally. And some brands are already doing this. There are apps and websites that use augmented reality and AI to create virtual try-on experiences.
I've seen those, but they don't always seem that accurate.
Yeah, the technology is still evolving, but it's getting better all the time.
Yeah.
Like the IRJNet's article we looked at, it proposes this system that uses standard webcams and AI to create a more affordable and accessible virtual try-on experience.
So you wouldn't need any special equipment, just a regular computer?
Exactly. And the system uses a combination of different AI techniques to track your body movements and map the clothes onto you in a realistic way.
That's so cool. So it's like bringing the fitting room into your home.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
And the IRGMET's paper even talks about how the system could be improved even further in the future using more advanced AI techniques.
Like what?
Well, things like pose alignment networks and texture refinement networks. These are AI models that can make the virtual try-on experience even more realistic and accurate.
So you'd be able to see how the clothes drape on your body, how they move when you walk, all that stuff.
Yeah, exactly. It's pretty mind-blowing when you think about it.
It is. Now, another emerging trend in fashion is voice commerce.
Oh, yeah. Shopping using voice assistants. That's definitely becoming a thing.
And it's powered by AI, of course.
Of course. Like, the AI is what allows the voice assistant to understand what you're saying and respond accordingly.
So you could be like, hey, Alexa, find me a red dress for a wedding, and it would just show you a bunch of options.
Yeah, pretty much. And some voice assistants can even give you personalized recommendations based on your past purchases and your style preferences.
That's so convenient, like hands-free shopping.
Totally.
Yeah.
Now, finally, let's talk about pricing and sales. AI is playing a role here too, right?
Absolutely. Like AI algorithms can be used to optimize pricing, figuring out the best price point for a product based on things like demand and competitor pricing.
Yeah, and they can also be used to personalize discounts and promotions, like sending you a coupon for something you've been browsing.
So it's all about making sure that brands are pricing their products competitively and that consumers are getting the best possible deals.
Exactly. And AI is even being used for more behind-the-scenes stuff like product tagging.
Product tagging.
Yeah, like when you search for a product online, the results are based on tags that have been assigned to that product.
Right.
Well, AI can be used to automate that tagging process using image recognition to identify different product attributes.
So it's like making sure that products are properly categorized so they show up in the right search results.
Exactly. Now, the LeewayHertz article also talks about how generative AI, specifically, is being used to streamline fashion operations.
What's generative AI again?
It's a type of AI that can actually create new content, like images, text, even music, and it's being used in a bunch of different ways in the fashion industry.
Okay, like what?
Well, for one thing, it can be used to help with market research and planning. Like, it can analyze data to identify upcoming trends, understand customer preferences, and even generate design ideas.
So it's like a supercharged trend forecasting tool.
Kind of. It can also be used to improve design management and quality assurance. Like generative AI can create virtual prototypes of garments, which can save designers a lot of time and money.
So instead of having to make physical samples, they can test out their designs virtually.
Exactly. And generative AI can also be used to analyze customer feedback and identify potential design flaws early on.
That's smart. And then there's supply chain optimization.
Yeah, generative AI can help streamline the entire supply chain, from sourcing materials to managing inventory to shipping products.
So it's about making the whole process more efficient and cost-effective.
Exactly. And it can also be used to improve sustainability, like by identifying the most sustainable shipping routes or helping brands track their carbon footprint.
So generative AI is kind of like a Swiss Army knife for the fashion industry. It can be used for so many different things.
It really can. And it's just scratching the surface. Like there's so much more potential for AI in fashion. Now let's talk about the specific AI technologies and techniques that are making all of this possible.
Okay, let's get technical.
All right. So one of the fundamental technologies behind a lot of this is machine learning.
I've heard of machine learning. It's like when computers learn from data, right?
Exactly. And there are a bunch of different machine learning techniques that are being used in fashion, like image recognition, which is used for things like visual search and product tagging.
And natural language processing, which is used for chatbots and voice search.
Yep, those are big ones. And then there's deep learning, which is a more advanced type of machine learning.
Deep learning, that sounds intense.
It is pretty intense,
Yeah.
but it's also super powerful. Like deep learning is what powers things like those generative AI models we talked about earlier, the ones that can create images and text.
So it's like the next level of machine learning.
Yeah, you could say that.
Yeah.
Now, looking ahead, what are some of the future trends we can expect to see in AI in fashion?
Yeah, what's next?
Well, I think we're going to see even more focus on using AI for sustainability, like finding ways to reduce waste, make supply chains more efficient, and design more eco-friendly products.
That's good to hear. And I bet AI is going to play a bigger role in influencer marketing too.
Definitely, like AI can help brands identify the right influencers to partner with and measure the effectiveness of their campaigns.
And I'm sure predictive trend analysis is going to get even more accurate.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like AI will be able to anticipate trends even further in advance, which will help brands stay ahead of the curve.
And then there's the whole world of AI-generated fashion design. That's still pretty new, but I think it has huge potential.
Totally. Like imagine AI creating completely original designs that have never been seen before.
That's wild. And I bet we're going to see more personalized fashion advice too, like through AI chatbots or virtual stylists.
Oh yeah, that's definitely coming. Like imagine having a personal stylist available 24/7 who knows your style perfectly and can give you advice on what to wear.
That would be amazing. And I know there are already a bunch of AI design tools out there that are making it easier for people to create their own clothes.
Yeah, for sure. Like the Reddit thread we looked at, it mentions a bunch of different tools like Framer and Microsoft Designer for creating graphics and websites, Bing Image Creator and AutoDraw for generating visuals, plus AI and Tome for making presentations, Pebbly and Booth.ai for product photography, Fronty for converting designs to code, and Let's Enhance and Remove.bg for improving images.
So AI is kind of democratizing fashion design, making it more accessible to everyone.
It is, and that's really exciting. Now, one last thing I wanted to touch on is that AI-powered virtual garment trial room we talked about earlier.
Yeah, the one from the IRJ Metz paper. That sounded really promising.
It did, and it addresses a really big pain point in online shopping, the fact that you can't try on clothes before you buy them.
Yeah, that's always a gamble.
It is. But this system uses AI to create a virtual try-on experience that's more affordable and accessible than a lot of the other options out there.
So it could really help reduce the number of returns, which would be good for both brands and consumers.
Exactly. And as the technology improves, those virtual try-on experiences are only going to get more realistic and helpful.
Well, this has been a fascinating deep dive into the world of AI and fashion. It's clear that AI is transforming the industry in so many ways.
It really is. From how clothes are designed and made to how they're sold and marketed, AI is changing everything.
And it's not just about making things more efficient or profitable. AI is also being used to make the fashion industry more sustainable and ethical.
Absolutely. And as AI continues to evolve, I think we're going to see even more exciting and innovative applications in the fashion world.
It makes you wonder, what's the future of fashion going to look like?
That's a great question. And honestly, I think it's up to us to shape that future.
What do you mean?
Well, as consumers, we have a lot of power. We can choose to support brands that are using AI for good, brands that are committed to sustainability and ethical practices.
That's true. And we can also use our voices to demand more transparency from the fashion industry.
Exactly. And that's where things like AI-powered supply chain tracking and sustainability reporting can really make a difference.
So it's not just about the technology itself, it's about how we use it.
Exactly. And I think that's the most important takeaway from all of this.
Well, on that note, thanks for joining us for this deep dive into the world of AI in fashion. It's been a really enlightening conversation.
It has. And I hope it's inspired you to think a little differently about the clothes you wear and the brands you support.
And if you're interested in learning more about any of the topics we discussed today, be sure to check out the sources we mentioned. We'll post links to them in the show notes.
And as always, we encourage you to do your own research and form your own opinions.
Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time for another deep dive into the fascinating world around us.
See you then.